So Halvard, when you're ready.
Yes. You hear me? Okay, no. Let me first start to thank the ICAS for this excellent opportunity to come here and see all you amazing people and discuss all these highly interesting topics. Ayahuasca in a global and multicultural context, etc. By me and my partner, Marianne Kaspersen, at the Norwegian Center for Consciousness Studies. That's really a very small association that we are trying to build. Basically, it's only 2 members, me and Marianne, but hopefully it will grow. How does this work? Like this? Okay. This photo I took earlier this year in Rome. It is on the bridge to the Isola Tebrina in Rome, where there used to be in pre-Christian times an ancient temple dedicated to the god of healing, to Asclepius. And yeah, I will explain later why I choose this picture with the 4 heads. Like a Janus is the 2-headed god of the gates, but here we actually have a 4-headed figure. The sculpture is not from ancient times, it is from the Renaissance, but anyway, I think it's highly appropriate. Well, the aim is to present an outline, more of an outline of a meta-perspective upon different paradigmatic views of usages of psychotropic substances in general, and now in particular of ayahuasca, and how these different views relate to different paradigms of the mind. Like 4 different paradigmatic views will be outlined, and we will try to see if they can combine in a way that make it possible to see them as an integrated whole, a greater whole, when applied to ayahuasca. There are, of course, some challenges with the globalization of ayahuasca. Like, of course, for people who have never taken the medicine, have never considered it, would ask, is it a drug or is it a medicine, a sacrament, or some kind of catalyst for inner transformation or whatever? And what does these concepts actually mean? A friend of mine once made this remark a few years ago when we were discussing the possibility of a legal case. She did not think that there would be a problem. We should just tell everybody that it is a very good medicine. Of course, I could wish that it was that easy. In Norway, this is from a Norwegian newspaper, it's some years old now. There is actually a problem that natural medicines, medication, natural remedies, when science discovers that they're actually working, then, well, there will be, the government is removing them from the health shops and that stuff. In some cases, they're still for sale at the pharmacies, but in a very controlled setting. So, if say we can imagine that the healthcare system decides that ayahuasca is useful for therapy, it might be taken away, actually. It's a paradox. Yeah, some claims I've heard about ayahuasca makes you see the spirit world, unite with God, heal from any physical disease, including cancer, experience years of psychotherapy in just a few hours. true or false, or otherwise problematic. As several of those this conference who has been doing therapeutic work with ayahuasca would say, they are not the medicine is not a cure for everything or for everybody. So there are really not any easy answers to these questions. Now, I turn to my definition of a paradigmatic view. It is a perspective. It's you view a topic from a certain angle. It's not really a theory or a model. It's a way to understand a topic, usually derived from a given paradigm that can be more or less defined by your specific education, by the specific culture, etc. More or less as a logical consequence, but often unconscious. Often these views are seen as self-evident. You think that it could not be otherwise. Like for me, I am a biochemist by education, so for me it is very hard to see that anything actually can happen if there are not molecules involved. Some molecules have to interact for anything to happen. That's deeply ingrained in my mind. And years of studying transpersonal psychology has not been able to take away that point of view. But then, a meta perspective, where you try to consider different points of view at once, may actually, hopefully, allow for an evaluation of several seemingly conflicting paradigmatic views, and surprising features of interrelated dependence may be revealed. So they may actually contribute to a greater whole or a deeper understanding. And they are usually considered in pairs, but we suggest a fourfold model, as we will see. I'll skip this. 4 paradigmatic views or perspectives will be outlined. And what is mind? That question is really not answered, but it's an important question to ask. We will consider the biomedical paradigm, that is the dominating in present scientific society at least, a psychodynamic or psychotherapeutic paradigm, the transpersonal, and at last also the animistic, which is very important when we come to traditional use of plant medicines like ayahuasca. And we plot them in a circle like this. The biomedical, psychodynamic, transpersonal, and the animistic view. And how is mind actually understood in these paradigms? Let's take first the biomedical view. What is mind according to, say, the most modern neuroscientific view? It is basically an epiphenomenon, which is also to say it is an illusion. Your mind does really not exist. It is just a byproduct of electrochemical processes in your brain. But matter is everything. It is like a material monist, that view that it consider basically everything has to be built from physical matter. That is everything that is. Opposed to that, we have I call it the psychodynamic view, but I could also have said in general the psychotherapeutic view, where the mind is basically considered a function of biographic events. If whatever you are today is a consequence of your earlier experiences. If you, say, have any problems in adult life. It might be due to some childhood issues, anything. Like if you from depressions to schizophrenia, it might be very early adult issue, childhood issues. Again, we go deeper. The transpersonal view, which consider mind really as everything. We could say that it is the opposite as the materialist or biomedical view, where matter is everything. In the transpersonal view, you can, in the extreme sense, you can actually say that matter, or your body, is an epiphenomenon. So it is exactly the opposite. And then again, what is animism? How is the mind considered in animism? Basically, all the world, the outer world, is considered inspirited or ensouled or whatever. There are spirits everywhere, spirits in every rock, every river, all around nature. 5 minutes left. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to go a bit faster. I think I already said that. Yeah, drugs in the biomedical paradigm. That's an important issue. Psychotropic substances might be considered medical drugs, and of course, also like drugs of possible drugs of abuse. So, a medical drug should have distinct and reproducible effects and possible side effects, preferably overshadowing any setting parameters. And how does that actually apply to like psychedelics? Not very well, right? Because there are actual effects on the mind for on a given occasion. You really don't know. So in the purely biomedical schools, the therapeutic value of psychedelics were really they really did not find very much. It was largely downplayed. Okay, then ayahuasca, is it a drug again? Well, if you define a drug as simply a psychoactive substance, of course there are some well-defined effects on the physiology, like DMT and MAO inhibitor, all this. But what about the purge? Is that a physiological process or more a mental or emotional process? I think most medical doctors would say it is the way the body gets rid of some toxic substances. But anybody who has experienced the purge with ayahuasca will say it can be a very deep emotional process, right? Agree? Good. Yeah, and then I have very little time left. So in the first therapeutic paradigm that with some degree of success used psychedelics was called a psycholytic therapeutic paradigm. Psycholytic therapy, they combine small amounts of LSD with classical psychoanalysis in the 50s and the 60s, and with some success. The therapy was basically verbal. Psycholytic means mind dissolving, and hence it relates to psychoanalysis. And I will skip that one. Then the transpersonal paradigm, to what hell is so angelic. That's I think that's the psychedelic therapy where you use large doses of a psychoactive or psychedelic substance to give the client a deep transforming experience, often considered as a religious experience. It goes very well to the transpersonal paradigm, where the substance can be considered catalyzed for inner transformation, not a drug in a medical or recreational sense. And yeah, I will skip that one. I was not able to finish everything, but we can stop with yes, yeah. Also, this word from William Blake, like man has no body distinct from its soul, for that called body is a portion of soul discerned by the five senses, the chief inlets of soul in this age. Written more than 200 years ago, and it goes very well to the transpersonal paradigm, I think. And to finish, on the fourth paradigm, I think there entheogens would be the appropriate term. I don't think we should use the term entheogens in the biomedical model or anything else. Thank you.